Well, hello, Facebook. Welcome back. Coach LT is back in the building. I call this LTTV. Welcome, 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 y'all. I have a very important conversation for you today. Thank you for joining me here live. For those of you that are alive, I appreciate you. If you're here on the replay, make sure that you type in hashtag replay so I can shout you out later. I have keys, 4 steps. Okay. This is a part of my framework. It's a 4 step process for you to shift your identity right now in this moment. Okay. In this moment, I need you to shift your identity right now. In this moment, I need you to become someone different. Okay. I need you to become someone different so that you can get a different result. Okay. Some of you have been praying, wishing, waiting, wanting. You've been praying for a different result. You've been wanting to do something different and it just hasn't happened yet. And you're like, what the what? I don't get it. I've been doing the work, right? The work. Well, okay, let's stop doing the work for just a second. Let's just breathe. Slow down, breathe. This is what I tell my clients the first day they come to work with me. We need to just breathe. Okay, stop doing all the work. Sometimes you're doing too much work. Stop doing all the work, breathe. Now, let's take some time to think for a second. What do we need to shift about your identity? What do we need to shift about you? Who do you need to become in order to have the things that you want to have? Right? Because you have to be and then do and then have. Be, do, have. Okay. You have to become the kind of person who does the action, who gets the result. Okay, so flip it. I need you to flip your thinking and I need you to shift your identity in the moment right now. Okay, I'm going to walk you through it. This is what I do with my clients every single day. This is what we do in my university. If you have a feeling that 2026 is going to be something different for you, and you really 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 actually want some tangible results, like you really do want to be a different person in 2026, you need to enroll in my university because we're changing mindsets, we're changing lives, and we're changing identities from the beginning. Okay, so here is the 4 step process. And a quick story before I give you the 4 step process, because I had to learn this for myself first, and then I was able to walk other people through it over and over and over and over again. Now I do this with friends, family, coworkers, church mates, clients, and it works. Okay. So I want you to just think of this as I'm telling you my story. I want you to think about your story. I had to become a different person when I started writing books. I thought I was just a teacher who was writing books. No, I found out I was actually an author who just happened to be a teacher. Okay. I found out that I had a powerful voice. I was also a speaker who had the potential to get paid to speak. I didn't know that. I thought I was just some classroom teacher just doing my thing and getting by and paying bills. That is not what your life is all about. That is not the end all be all for you. You are not just here to pay bills and die. That is not the purpose of your life. And if you haven't discovered the purpose of your life, oh, you really need to get out a piece of paper and a pencil, a pen, because you really have some work to do. If you haven't done the inner work and had the inner dialogue with yourself, you have some work to do. And on these last few days of 2025, I want to encourage you to do the internal work so that you can become the type of person who will have the motivation to do the thing, who can actually get the result and accomplish something big and be on stage. I want that for you. And if you want it for yourself, raise your hand and say, I want it. I want it. right? Because a lot of times we sit here and we act like we don't want stuff, but we do. But we don't want to be disappointed or we don't want to be let down. So we don't want to ask. It's time to ask big, go big, show up big, live out loud. It's 2026 in a couple of days. You have the right to live out loud. You have permission. Okay, now go do it. Okay. All right. So here is what I had to do to shift my identity. Because when I started even thinking about writing a book about 2015, I just couldn't even imagine how it was going to go. Right. I was just so scared and confused. I was like, I don't know how this is going to. I had to let all that scarcity mindset, I had to just bust out of that and be like, you know what? I'm going to just do it. Forget it. I'm going to just screw it. Let me do it. Right. I finally just had to do it. When the book came out, I was shocked because the rest of the world was like, "Oh, yeah, of course you're an author." Like what? Everybody else knew I was an author but me. Like talk about identity shift, right? You got to put on a different set of glasses, y'all. I have a couple different pair of glasses. These are my red ones. I have some green ones. For you guys, I'm gonna have you just put on some yellow ones. Yellow is like the light bulb moment. I want you to put on a yellow pair of glasses. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror differently today. All right? I want you to look at yourself different. Don't look at yourself as a mom or a dad or a sister or a brother or a daughter or whatever other role you have, a grandma, a mom. Don't look at yourself as those things because, yes, those are your defaults. Okay, those are your default settings. Now that you're writing a book, most of you that come to me, you're writing a book, you're becoming an author. So now you have to hang out with other authors. You got to step up. You got to speak on stage. You got to start traveling the world. You got to start taking your books with you. You got to start selling digital products. You got to start sending out your links to go to your website if you want people to buy your products. Like how are people supposed to know that you're here if you're quiet as a church mouse? Like stop doing that. You have to see yourself as something different and you have to start getting loud about it and start doing this in the mirror by yourself behind closed doors so you can get used to it. Start talking to yourself, start praying over yourself, start getting in that journal, writing, doing that brain dump every day. In my community, we do our brain dumps every single day and we do them together. It takes 10 minutes, we do them together. 10 minutes a day keeps the heartache away. 10 minutes a day keeps the anxiety, stress, panic attack away. Um, 10 minutes a day keeps poverty away. Whatever it is that you want to stay away from, write it out, write it out, write it out, write it out, write it out. We do it 10 minutes every day in my community, every single day. Okay. That's how we get our identity shift in order. Because sometimes we wake up in the morning and we don't feel good. So we got to talk ourselves into who we are, really, for real though. Right. So 2015, people started asking me, what my ideas were about certain things. And I was like, just quiet as a church mouse. And then finally, I published the book in 2017 and people started asking me for another book. I was like, you don't I'm like, you obviously don't understand how hard that was to write that first book, right? That first book, the first book could be your worst book. My first book was my worst book because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, but now I know. Okay. 2017, that book came out. People started asking me for interviews, started asking me for autographs. I'm like, what is this? I am not a celebrity. All I am is just a regular teacher, minding my business, going, paying my bills, taking care of my kids. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. But God was like, no, you got a lot more to do, sis. You got a lot more to do. I was like, oh, man. Right? So then I wrote more books and then I wrote more books and then I just started falling in love with writing books. And then I created a whole process and framework for writing books. And then I started doing these sales and marketing and I was like, "Oh, I like sales. I like marketing. Oh, I like this. I like branding. Oh, I like teaching." I love teaching all these different things, but guess what? I had to rise up and I had to look at myself in the mirror and I say, "Girl, you're not just a mom or a sister. or a daughter, you're not just a teacher. Oh my gosh, you're an author. So I had to start saying, oh, I'm an author. I am an author. I'm an author. And I had to start hanging out with other authors, right? And then I got an opportunity to step away from my 9 to 5 because God was like, I want you to do this full time. I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to work, Lord. And then it worked. 2021, I said, okay, I'm not going to teach and coach at the same time. I'm just going to coach because I'm making more money coaching than I am teaching. So what the hell am I teaching for? And I'm still teaching while I'm coaching. So I left that job. I said, I don't need that job. Y'all can take that job and shove it. You can take everything that comes with it too. All of it. Right. And so today, this is what I get to do full time all day long and twice on Sunday. All day long. I get to do this. I get to wake up in the morning with my clients, helping them do their brain dump every single morning. 10 minutes a day keeps the stress away. We do our 10-minute brain dump first. Then we go into our journaling, our scripting, and our manifestation. Okay? And then we start talking about publishing. And then we start talking about launching and branding and social media marketing and all that cool stuff. Building a legacy around the book, right? We start talking about all that good stuff. And then we start talking about where are we going? Where are the retreats? Where are we traveling to this year? I got a whole bunch of really cool, exciting adventures for y'all. So stay tuned this year. 2026 is the era of nonstop retreat hosting and traveling. So stay on this channel. If you want to stay inspired and lifted up and motivated and you want to stay in the loop, stay on this channel because we're going to be doing a lot of movement. A lot of momentum is already happening in the community. It's already popping off. So if you're kind of feeling stagnant and stale and like stuff ain't changing for you, it's because you ain't changing. It's because you ain't moving. You ain't going to see people. You ain't visiting. You're not in a community. You probably need to be in a different community, right? A different community. Because sometimes you stay in the same community for too long. You need to move on. Okay. If you haven't gotten a degree in a while, you haven't had a certification, a license, if you haven't really gone and done anything new, it's time for you to decide what it is that you're getting ready to embark upon and start looking at yourself different. See, you're looking at yourself like you don't really have a lot of confidence. You don't really have a lot of authority within your own self because you're not doing anything new and exciting. Are you learning a new language? We're learning two languages in our community. We're learning Spanish and we're learning Japanese this year. Okay. So the people in this community are growing, learning, thriving, stretching. And when you're being stretched, it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's frustrating, but it's necessary. So if you're ready to get into 2026 and really become something different and do something new, you need to jump into this university that I've created here for you. We have certification programs where you can become a certified book coach. You can become an editor. You can become a ghostwriter. You can become a paid speaker. You can become a coach or a consultant. If you don't know the difference, you need to take the class so you can learn what the difference is. It's a huge difference. Okay. If you want to change your life and turn your ideas into gold, you need to be in this university. It is for you, the content creator, the person that's pregnant with ideas and don't know what to do with them, just struggling, just trying to get those ideas out and they're just bouncing off the wall. Like I used to be the spaghetti girl, just putting the spaghetti on the wall, trying to figure out what's going to stick. Well, we've figured out what is going to stick. And so that's why we've created the program that we have. And that's why my clients are getting the results that they're getting is because we're not just throwing things out there. We know that you have to shift your identity first. Identity is everything. First thing you're going to do is get an identification card, right? Anytime you enroll in a university, you're going to get an identification card because look, you are now embarking on a new journey that you're going to be starting with, you're going to be matriculating through, you're going to be graduating from. And so you're a different person now. You're not just a student. Some of y'all will become professors. Some of y'all will become coaches. I have so many clients that leave the program and they end up going and starting their own book coaching program. That's why we have a book coaching certification program now, because you will literally be qualified to go coach someone through the process of publishing a book and launching it and selling it, not just getting it on Amazon. That's one thing. It's a whole nother thing building a brand around the message. Okay. And that starts with your target audience. That starts with you. Because guess what? Guess who your target audience actually is. A little secret I'm gonna let y'all in on. Your target audience is the first target audience that you have is actually you. You're the target audience. All right. And I my clients know that. I talk you through that. I teach you that when you come in. Okay. So that's all I wanted to give you. Let me give you a quick recap. There's 4 shifts, 4 steps. Okay. I want you to shift your identity right now. Here are the 4 steps. Let me take a look at my notes. So number 1, step 1 is put on a different set of eyeglasses. Okay. Put on some glasses. When you put on these glasses, number 1, I want you to talk about to yourself, okay, in your mind, what is your position right now? Okay. Think about your positioning. What position are you in right now? Where are you in the world? Where are you physically located? What do you like about your position? What do you not like about your position? If you're in a 9 to 5, what do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Right? That's number 1. Okay. Number two is the eyeglass part. Okay. This is also the eyeglass part. How do you see yourself and feel about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror? That's number 2. Okay. Number 3 is to what list the actions. What are the actions that you need to take to get yourself out of that position? And then number 4, where's the community? Where are the people who can support you and help you get yourself out of that position? Okay. So number 1 is position. So you have to analyze your position. Where are you? What are you doing? What's going on? Number 2, your eyeballs. Okay. Take a look at yourself. Start asking yourself some questions. How did I get here? Why am I here? Why don't I want to be here? Where do I want to be? And how do I get there? Right. Number 3 is the action part where you, okay, now I got to actually get up and go do something. And then number 4, I got to go find people to hang out with who are where I want to be. See, when I became an author, I ended up leaving the teaching profession, um, not only because I made more money as a coach than I did as a teacher, but also more impact because I was hanging out with different people now. I love my teachers. I love my teachers. I was with teachers for 20 years. However, being a full-time teacher and raising kids and being in that bubble is a whole different mindset from being an entrepreneur. Okay? It's a you go to different events, you speak different a different language. So I'm multilingual because I can speak teacher talk whenever it's time for me to teach teacher talk, right? I could talk it. But I can also teach, I can also talk like a coach and a consultant. I can also talk like a public speaker. I can also talk like an editor. I can also talk like a publisher, like a podcaster, like a YouTuber, like a blogger, content creator, because I've done all these things too. I've had all these different roles. I can also talk like a mom because I've been a mom, I've been a spouse. Like I have seen myself make multiple identity shifts over the past 50 years. Yes, I'll be 50 in February and fabulous, y'all. Fit, fabulous, and fine in February. Okay. And this is how you got to talk about yourself. You got to see yourself as the best possible person in the world. Okay. because you've done so much work. When you've done so much work on yourself, you're going to be like, damn, I am my favorite self. I am my favorite person. There's nobody in the world I'd rather hang out with other than me. Because you know what? I've invested so much into me, so much time, energy, and money. I just invested it all. Get to that point where you love on you and you'll be like, yeah, I can't go nowhere without me. Oh no, I got to take me. Right? Get to that point. But that requires an identity shift. That requires that you go through those 4 phases. The positioning. Think about the position that you're in. The eyeballs. Put your eyeballs on yourself. How do you feel about yourself? The action. Start taking actions and writing in your journal. Number 4, the community. Okay, you're going to remember this. P.E.A.C. Positioning, your eyeballs, okay? The A is action and the C is community. Community is everything, y'all. If you don't have a community right now and you really need to tap in somewhere, go ahead to my group, Your First Book Club. Jump into the community so you can get in there and see what we're doing. We're moving and shaking and making shit happen. We're a lively bunch. We're creatives, so we're always buzzing. We always got ideas buzzing, but we're also creating tangible results in the world and we're getting shit done. So come on in, see how everything is going in the community. Sign up for the university. If it's been more than 5 years since you got a degree or a certification or you sat in a class, come back to school. Come back to school. I guarantee you rusty and dusty. Your skills. If you having a hard time paying your bills, you haven't learned no skills. Every year you got to be learning some new skills, honey. Every year you got to be learning some new skills. And that's what we're doing. So if you're in, you want to change your life, you want to get into the university, raise your hand. I'll send you the link so you can get in now. Okay. It's almost 2026. It's time for you to do something different. It's time for you to hang out with some different people that you've never seen before. It's time for you to get out your comfort zone, learn something new, and finally get that damn book done that you've been saying you're going to get done. You've been pregnant for 12 years, like I was. All right, that's enough. I'll see you in the university. Bye.